Eustachian valve. Very good. What is the other name for bicuspid valve? What is the other name for bicuspid valve? Very nice. Yash's answer again is Amod, very good. Supra, very good. Sanjana, yes, it's a mitral valve. Next. What are the muscular ridges of auricle called as? What are the muscular ridges of auricle called as? Auricle. Muscular ridges of auricle. Who can answer this? Muscular pectini. Very nice. What is the remnants of ductus arteriosus is called? What is the remnants of ductus arteriosus is called? I want each and every one to answer here. What is the remnants of ductus arteriosus is called? Very good. Ligamentum arteriosum. More than yes. Both have answered. It's ligamentum arteriosum. Srushti. Very good. It's a ligamentum arteriosum. Which is the disease that is caused if this ligamentum arteriosum is not formed? Which is the disease that is caused if this ligamentum arteriosum is not formed? Blue baby syndrome. Very nice. Very smart. Next. Okay. Tricuspid valve is present between what? Tricuspid valve is present between what? Tricuspid valve is present between left. Whose answer is that? Yes. Tricuspid. Yes. Tricuspid. Harsh. Very good. Supra. Very good. It is a okay. Right auricle, right side, and bicuspid is present on the left side. See this. There should be no confusion. A very important questions. These all are very important questions. Is it clear? Dash valve is present in the pulmonary artery or the aorta. Dash valve is present between pulmonary artery or the aorta. Who can answer this? Dash valve. I told you last. Semilunar valve. Very nice. Hush. It's a semilunar valve. Shusti. Yeah. Sanjana. Very good. It's a semilunar valve. Is it clear to all? Any doubts to anyone about the internal structure of the heart? Does anybody having any doubts about internal structure of the heart? So any doubts? So why is this cauda tendineae important? Cauda tendineae is important because have I written about the atrial valve? What was the last thing that we discussed? Can anybody tell me? Have we described this? I think no. Have you all written about the internal structure or you just have copied the diagram? How is it? Okay, first write down internal structure of the heart, about the vessels opening. So I think you all know this about right vessels and valves. You know about this, right? Now, chamber, wall chamber, chambers of the wall or the wall chamber. So do you all know about the number of vessels, where it opens, and what are the valves that are present? Do you all know? Quickly say yes. If you don't know, please say no so that I can repeat. Mhm. Is this everything clear to each and everyone in the class? Okay, thank you, Sanika, for the response. Now, the first, I don't know what others are doing. Yes, Supra. Ma'am, what is chorda tendinae? Yeah, Madhura, I'm explaining that. Okay. First is, we'll discuss about the wall. First, we'll discuss about the atrial wall. What is atrial wall? We're talking about the wall of the auricles. A transverse muscular ridges called musculi pectinati or pectinity. Okay. Then fossa ovalis. There is one more structure which we have not mentioned in the diagram. I'll show you now. Fossa ovalis is present in the atria. What is fossa ovalis? Is a depression in posterior interatrial septum. It is, what is it? What is it exactly? It is the remains of foramen ovals of embryonic heart present between right auricle and left auricle. Now, what is that? In the right side of the wall, there is a kind of a depression which is found. Let me draw in this dark red. Here, somewhere on the wall of the interseptum between the right auricle and the left auricle, there is a wall, right, which divides the two auricles. On that wall, there is a depression or the marking, and that marking is called, I'm writing it here, it's called as fossa ovalis. Please add this to your diagram. Can you see the slides? Can you see the slide?
What is fossa ovalis, you said?
Fossa ovalis is present between right auricle and the left auricle. Actually, listen, what exactly it is. Fossa ovalis is the remains of foramen. Foramens mean hole. Okay, hole. Have you heard about the hole which is not filled in the embryo? Then they have to fill it later. Have you heard about this hole? The baby is born with the hole in their heart. That is
Yes.
called fossa ovalis. That is the foramen ovals. That hole is called foramen ovals. In adult, this foramen oval is covered by a tissue that then it becomes fossa ovalis. Where this foramen oval is present in the embryo? Between the right auricle and the left auricle. Between them, there is a septum that divides the auricle, right? That keeps the right auricle separate and left auricle separate. There is a septum. Onto which septum? Can you see the screen? Tell me first. Can you see
Yes,
the
ma'am.
screen?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, just wait. Hmm. Can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you see this, this is a auricle, this is a right auricle, and this is a left auricle, right? Do you all agree? Now, in between the right auricle and the left auricle, can you see the screen, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in between the right auricle and left auricle, there is a septum, interauricular septum, right? In the embryo, there is a hole which is formed in the interauricular septum in the embryo. Is it clear? This is a hole. This hole is called foramen ova or ovalis. Clear? After the embryo is born, this foramen is closed. This closed foramen, now it is called as fossa ovalis. Tell me who didn't understood this. Read and let me know if somebody has not understood. Who let me know? Anyone, any doubts? Okay, everybody understood?
No,
That's
ma'am.
great. Okay, next. Ventricular heart, ventricular wall. The next is ventricular wall.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, what have you written?
Interauricular septum. The septum that is present between the two auricles.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry.
Ma'am, can you scroll up?
Yeah.
Ma'am, scroll up.
Okay, Baba, write down. Let me know once you are done.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Where is fossa ovalis in that upper diagram of internal?
What?
Where is that fossa ovalis in the above diagram?
See, it should be here, no? See, fossa ovalis. Image are showing. It should be in the interventricular, in the auricle, no? Right side of the auricle, in the interauricular septum. Can you see whose question was that? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So, did you see the fossa ovalis?
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you done with writing this part?
And what is that after inter?
When I'm telling what are you doing after inter is auricular septum. Auricular, here auricular and septum. Okay.
That fossa ovalis and foramen ovals both are the same place.
Baba, you were there when I was explaining you. I said foramen ovalis is present before the baby is born. After the baby is born, the foramen ovalis is filled with the tissue. Now that same region is called fossa ovalis. Understood?
Yes, I understood.
Now write them. Papillary muscles. These are muscles attached to the apex of columnae corneae. Next, the third one is chorda or chordae tendinae. What are this? These are collagenous cord attached to papillary muscles and two flaps of AV valves. Who can tell me which are the AV valves? Who can tell me which are the AV valves? AV valves. Bicuspid and tricuspid. Rishikesh, very good. No. Kamath, it's wrong. AV valve. AV, auricle and ventricle beach valves, and those are called AV. Auricle and ventricle. Eustachian and Tabasian valves are the valves of auricle only. Yes, is it clear? Yeah. So AV valves are, if you see the diagram, let us come back to the diagram. This cusp thing, I have written cusp, tricuspid, where it is present between the auricle and ventricle. Between the auricle and ventricle, there is a tricuspid. Between the left auricle and the left ventricle, there is a bicuspid. So these are two also called as AV valve because it is present between auricles and ventricles. Above it is auricle and below it is ventricle. Got the point, everyone? Now, what is columnar cornea? Please mute your mic. I don't. Yeah. Now, columnar cornea. What is columnar cornea? Are the ridges of ventricle. Columnar cornea are the ridges of ventricle. What are the ridges of auricle called? Musculi pectinati. What are the ridges of ventricles called? Columnar corneae. Columnar corneae के बाद आएगा papillary muscles. These are the muscles attached to columnar corneae. At the apex मतलब tip of, if this is a ridges, that is columnar corneae. To this tip there is an attachment of papillary muscle. Done. Now next, what are chordae tendinae? Chordae tendinae are the cords. What are they? If this is the ridges, if this is the papillary muscles, and here it's a cord. These are the cord. What type of cord are this? Collagen cord. One side it is attached to the papillary muscles. On the other side it is attached to valves. Which valves? AV valves. Tricuspid on the left side, on the right side, and bicuspid valve on the left side. Is it point clear? What does a column chorda tendinae means? But what is the function of the chorda tendinae? The function of the chorda tendinae is to prevent the eversion. Write down. I'll explain you first. You write down this. Function is to prevent eversion of AV valve into atrium during ventricular contraction. Means, what do you understand by this? See, everybody listen. This is right auricle. The blood enters into right auricle. After the blood enters into right auricle, when it contracts, where does it flow? It flows to right ventricle. Do you agree with me? Right ventricle. Now from the right ventricle, there is a pulmonary artery that is going, right? So whenever the right ventricle contracts, where does it go? When the right ventricle contracts, where the blood go? You need to understand this. From the right
Pulmonary artery.
ventricle, where the blood goes?
Yes.
Pulmonary artery. Very nice. Pulmonary artery, if when the ventricle contracts, there might be chances the blood can go back to the right auricle. There might be a chance where the blood can go back to the right auricle. That's the reason these AV valves are needed. Understood why the AV valves are needed? To close the gate between the auricle and the ventricle. When the pulmonary ventricle contracts, the blood should not go back to the right auricle. It has to get through the pulmonary artery only. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's who prevents this. That's it is said to prevent the eversion of AV valve into the, so that if you press, what happened? The AV valve should not get inside into the auricle. They should stick to like this. They should stick like this only. They should close the gate. They cannot open the gate on the other side. They cannot get into the atrium during ventricular contraction. Are you understanding what is the function of chorda tendineae? So from down, somebody is holding them to stay back in the same position. Who is holding? Chorda tendineae is holding the AV valve. Tell me, understood or everybody understood? Is it clear? Okay. You said it's very clear, but I'll give you a 2 minutes to go back to the diagram, understand each and every function of the diagram, and ask me questions if you have. Go back to the diagram, go back to the notes what I have given, understand and ask me questions quickly, because I'll ask you questions later. Quickly. Very, very important. If you understand the internal structure and external structure, rest all will become very easy. It's a very interesting chapter. You just need to think a bit, understand, imagine the things, how our heart might be placed, how is the structure, how are the things happening around. I'm giving you 2 minutes to revise. Ma'am, could you please explain chorda tendineae part again? See, Shifa. Listen to this, Shifa. When the auricle contracts, here what do you have? Here you have AV valve. AV valve means tricuspid valve. On the right side you have tricuspid, on the left side you have bicuspid. So tricuspid में क्या होता है? This side, when the auricle contracts, the blood will flow from auricle to ventricle. The blood will flow from auricle to ventricle. It gets open, the valves get open, and the blood will come from auricle to ventricle. But when ventricle contracts, the blood will go into pulmonary artery. But when ventricle contracts, this tricuspid can go into the auricle and open. They can get inside the auricle. So to prevent this, what happened? There is a cord that holds this tricuspid and bicuspid from the below, so that eversion nahi hoye. Like, you know, the eversion means they cannot get into the right auricle when the ventricle contracts. To keep them in the same place, chorda tendineae is required. They're holding from the lower side. Shifa, is it clear? AV valve means atrium ventricular valve. Yes, AV, Sanya, AV means atrium ventricular valve, which are two types. One is tricuspid, other is bicuspid. What is papillary muscles? Tanmay, if this is a columnar corneae, to the columnar corneae, there is a papillary muscle attached. To the papillary muscles, there is a cord that is attached, which is called chorda tendineae, and the other one side is attached to papillary muscles, other side they attach to AV valves to prevent the eversion of valves into the atrium. Tanmay, is it clear about the papillary muscles?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubts you can send me. The time given to you is for coronary artery. Padma, coronary artery, there is a vein and there is an artery, right? Coronary artery supplies, see, our heart also need oxygen. Our heart works, so that also need oxygen. So pulmonary artery supplies oxygenated blood to heart muscle. Is it clear? All over the heart, there is an artery which carries oxygenated blood to provide the oxygen to the cardiac muscles. We have studied about the cardiac muscle in the first class, in the first chapter, right? So it provides an oxygenated blood. No, there is no extra papillary muscles. All are with chorda tendineae. All are with chorda tendineae. The time given to you is to sit and read the diagram. See, in the diagram, I couldn't mention all the points. Like I couldn't draw it, but you can write it in the diagram. You can. There is no papillary muscles that is left. All the papillary muscles are attached to. See, diagrammatic. What we draw is different, and actually, you cannot get exactly the same what you draw in the what exactly the organ is. Okay, any doubts to anyone? Is it clear to all? Can we move to the next? I want each and everybody in the class to be cleared with this diagram.
Ma'am, where is the opening of the coronary artery?
What?
Where is the opening of the coronary artery?
There is no opening for the coronary artery. It carries the blood from the left auricle, and then it takes the blood all over the body, all over the heart muscle. Sorry.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other questions? Are you all sleeping there? Are you all sleeping there? Then why no response? I'm asking you. Are there any questions? You are just be quiet. Did you all understood it clearly? Okay. Next. Wall of heart. Next, we'll be discussing about the wall of heart. How many layers? 3 layers. How many layers? 3 layers. Let us draw this. First, we'll write down and then I'll explain. Okay? Everybody will write down this and I'll explain. Hmm? Sanika, today your mic is okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So when is your test? MCQ test? Stellar MCQ test?
Don't know.
Please write this. Shivam, what is the response? No, I am not. Shivam. Acha, acha, okay, I understood. Anyway, you're done? Are you all done writing this? Okay, write down. Once you're done, do let me know. Is it done, everyone? Can we discuss? Is it done, everyone? Can we discuss? Okay, listen. Everybody listen. We're discussing the heart of the
I'm
wall of
wait.
the heart. When I asked you, you didn't reply. When I begin to explain, you say to wait. You need to respond to me as the time when I ask you the question. You cannot stop me in between. Who was this who told me to wait? See, again, you're not responding to the question. Okay. The heart is covered by what? The heart is covered by a membrane that is called as pericardium. Okay. It is the wall of the heart is made up of three layers. One is the outermost layer, that is epicardium, which is also called as visceral pericardium. Remember, epicardium and visceral pericardium is same, which is the outer wall. Then you have middle wall, that is called myocardium, and there is an inner wall that is called endocardium, which is of simple squamous epithelial cells. Now, the middle wall, the outer wall, middle wall, inner wall, among all these three walls, which is the thickest one? Look into the diagram and tell me which is the thickest one. Very good, yes.
Myocardium.
It is myocardium. This is the thickest wall. Important question. Thickest wall. Heart is protected by pericardium. Pericardium is made up of two layers. You know the walls of the heart. Now you are studying the pericardium. The outer pericardium is the covering of the organ. How you have in lungs pleural membrane, same way in the heart you are having pericardium. The pericardium is made up of two layers. One is outer fibrous pericardium, the other is inner serous pericardium. The outer fiber pericardium is outermost, but whereas the inner serous pericardium is again made up of two components, outer parietal and inner visceral pericardium. The inner visceral is similar to epicardium. This I have mentioned. Inner visceral or is similar to epicardium. Then the space between the outer A and B, the space between the outer parietal pericardium and the inner visceral pericardium is called pericardial space, which is filled with pericardial fluid. In the lungs, if you remember, it is filled with pleural fluid. Here it is filled with pericardial fluid. It acts as a lubricant and protects the heart from the same thing. It acts as a lubricant, heart from the mechanical shock and the other injuries. Whereas this 1 and 2, this 1 and 2 together form pericardium. Together it forms the pericardium. Outer fibrous pericardium, inner serous pericardium. Together it forms the pericardium. Visceral pericardium and the epicardium is same. Do let me know if you have any doubts. Do let me know if you have doubts. Go through it quickly and do let me know if you have doubts. Any doubts to anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now, the next is really you're understanding it clearly, right? Double complete circulation. Are you understanding it clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible to you all? Then why are you taking so much time to respond? Now you are going to help me out with this to fill this complete diagram. Okay. From the right ventricle, everybody, from the right ventricle, which blood moves? From the right ventricle, which blood moves to the lungs? Deoxygenated. Very good. Deoxygenated blood. Which vessels carries it? Which vessels carry it? Which vessels carries it?
Pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery. Very nice. From the lungs, which blood moves? From the lungs, which blood moves?
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated. Which vessels carry from the lungs to the left auricle?
Pulmonary vein.
Pulmonary vein. Very nice. Then pulmonary artery, left auricle to it goes to left ventricle. Which blood is moving from left auricle to left ventricle?
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated. Very good. From the left ventricle to the body organ, which blood is moving?
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated. Good. Who carries it?
Aorta.
Very nice.
Aorta.
From the body organ to the left auricle, which blood is moving? From the body organ to right auricle.
Deoxy.
Very nice. Deoxy. Which what carries it?
Vena
Vena
cava.
cava. Very nice. From the right auricle, it enters into left ventricle, which blood deoxy. So this cycle, because it is going to the heart twice, and there is separation of oxygen and deoxygenated blood completely, this type of circulation is called pulmonary. It's called double complete circulation. In this, we can divide into this everything is with the pulmonary. So it is said to be, this cycle is said to be pulmonary circulation. The other part is called systemic circulation. Write down. There are two types of circulation: pulmonary circulation, systemic circulation. So you can write down as double circulation involves two circuits. One is pulmonary, that is from to and from lungs. Systemic is to and from body organs. Please understand and then write. And do tell me if you have doubts. Any doubts to anyone? Everything clear? No response. What should I believe? Is it clear? Is it not clear? Do you want me to wait? Should I move to the next topic? Okay, done. Next. Types of heart. Types of heart. One is, why are you so frustrated with the Chennai? Neurogenic heart. And myogenic heart. See, what is neurogenic and what is myogenic? Let me tell you. Let us write down first, okay? Impulse of heart beat comes from outside heart. impulse of heart beat develops within heart. Done. Here, impulse is generated by nervous system. Here, impulse are generated by a special muscular tissue. So tell me, our heart is neurogenic heart or myogenic heart?
Myogenic.
Who's saying this?
Ma'am Tanmay.
Very good. Our heart is myogenic heart. Is it clear? Yes, Rishikesh, Sanjana, it is myogenic. Examples for neurogenic heart is arthropods and some annelids Then examples for myogenic is mollusk and vertebrates. Human heart is important. Human heart is myogenic heart. Done?
And scroll up.
Yeah. Sorry. Just a minute.
Ma'am, please scroll up.
Yeah.
What is that example?
Arthropods and some annelids, mollusk. Spelling
Okay.
is gone. Mollusk. Clear? Can we move to the next? Okay. Next. One, two, three. Conducting system of heart. Let us draw this.
And the screen is frozen.
Screen is frozen? For everyone, the screen is frozen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I can see the screen.
Now it is.
It's not frozen. I can see the screen. Write down this. Until what time the class is today?
11:45.
Fine. Time up. Okay. Draw this. Are you forgetting the previous chapters, what we have learned, or you're revising them? Hmm? Are you forgetting or you're revising them regularly? The chapters, what we have covered? No answers from anyone. So it means that you're not revising them. Sorry? Shifa revising? Abai say no. Tanika say revising. Tanma gives the looks. What a question was that?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, what have you written? Bundle of
His. Bundle of his. HIS. HISS. You can write. So most of them are showing the expression about Tanmay, right? So nobody is revising. There are only few who are revising the topics. I want you all to keep revising the topics. See, if you do not revise, you will forget. I'm telling you. As much time you keep on revising, it will stay. You will recall. Keep recalling. Keep revising. Prabhu Desai, you should be other way around. So I want you all, Tanmay, is it clear? I want you all to keep revising the chapters. See, I want very good scoring in my topic. If you do not
Yes, ma'am.
give me scores, then I will not be teaching you. I need a good
Ma'am, what is
scoring.
the bundle of?
Bundle of his, Baba, his. Bundle of his, not her. Or AV bundle. So keep revising, okay? So we'll continue the class in the next, conducting system of a heart in the next class. So how are you feeling the chapter body fluids and circulation? How well you're understanding the topic? Yeah, thank you, Shivam. You're moving? You're going out of the class? Easier than biomolecules. See, biomolecule is completely entirely different chapter. This is physiology. Biomolecules, I'm telling you, do not get in your mind that it is hard. Try to sit with each part. Carbohydrate, today you finish. Protein, tomorrow you finish. Lipids, you finish again. Again, you revise. Is it clear, Abail? Biomolecules, don't make it harder. Sam, sorry, not Abail. Sam, are you getting the point? Prabhu Desai, keep your own views. Yeah? Okay. So, nothing is difficult. Difficult, easier, everything is depending on your thinking. So, I want you all to read the chapters thoroughly with examples referring to NCRT book. Keep doing it. Okay. So, I'll wind up the class. Yes, human physiology is quite interesting. See, human physiology you can score good marks also if you read it thoroughly. Yeah. Okay then. So can I wind up the class for today? Yeah, you're welcome. Bye-bye. Take care. See you all. Keep learning, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Bye.